where we're more than just a podcast, we're a family. Go ahead and take some deep breaths, baby. You're safe here. Self-love, confidence, acceptance, and growth. Welcome home. Welcome to Probably Late to Something. Hi, babies! Welcome back to another episode of Probably Late to Something. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode. I want to go ahead and start off with a nice, big, deep breath. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. And out through the mouth. Just relax, let go of everything. You're here right now with me and yourself, and you're okay. Give yourself some squeezes on your shoulders, hold your own hand for a bit, squeeze your legs, roll throughout your body, give a little wiggle, right? We love to wiggle. But I hope you guys are doing well, whatever time it is, morning, night. I'm so happy that you're here with me. And this episode is gonna be really nice. If you noticed last week, I skipped an episode being videoed for YouTube because I haven't been able to get like the lighting right. But then I remembered the quote that Ben told me the other week that was like, listen to your mental health when it whispers and not when it screams. So I kind of was like, all right, you need to just give it a rest. If the lighting's never going to look like it was the first 2 episodes, which was perfect, like literally perfect. This gives off more of like a cold, like harsh light vibe. And the other ones were like so warm and fuzzy. But it's just not going to happen. I don't know what the difference was. So we're just going to roll with it and let it go. But I didn't post that week's episode because it was just like really stressing me out and I didn't like the way it looked. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Last week, over cap again, we talked about how to change the lens in which you're looking at success, right? If we want to really start by like truly changing our lives, we have to look at how we're viewing success, what we actually are wanting out of life instead of like what we think other people like want you to do or like want you to be, you know what I mean? Like Emma Watson said in that episode, I want to decide who I am and not let other people decide for me. So I hope you guys finished your challenges last week and your like journal prompt of just asking yourself what truly makes you happy, why you think you're worth living the best life, you know, what makes you worthy of doing that and what you view success as. And now this week's going to be talking about habits and how to actually change your habits and change your attitudes and how to actually start that baby step. I linked in the description of my last episode the motivational thing I always listen to from Denzel Washington. Like it literally gets me so hyped. It makes me like feel so ready for the day. And one of the things that he says in there is you always hear in life to make sure you have a backup plan, right? Like, okay, if you want to do modeling, Malia, just make sure you have something to fall back on. And he talks about like how he never understood that. Like, why would you prepare to fall back? And if you're going to fall, which is 100% going to happen, you're going to fail at something in life, you're going to fall down, you're going to cry, you're going to be overwhelmed, you're going to be stressed. Sometimes you're going to feel lost. But he was like, if you're going to fall, why would you fall backwards? Why not forwards? And why don't you just fall forwards over and over and over and over and over again until you finally get it right? And other people, I forgot, like, you know, the famous people that said this, but other people say, or people that are successful and have actually done what they wanted to do, they say that anyone can pretty much be successful, right? But you have to not stop. You can't quit. A lot of people have dreams and goals, but then the first thing that happens, they give up. You know, but I don't want to give up. I want us all to choose to keep going, falling forward, falling forward, falling forward. And then one day we will be successful. So this week we're going to be talking about habits and how to actually start betting your life. First, after that last episode, it was making that choice, right? We also talked about promises and making that promise to actually show up for yourself and not leaving that like little cute version of yourself just waiting for you to show up and like read a book with her or, you know, journal with her or I don't know, even paint if you like painting, like whatever that promise that you made to yourself, right? We're going to keep showing up. We're going to keep being there for ourselves. And it takes baby steps. I wrote something on my Instagram that said, just because someone runs a 5-mile marathon doesn't mean that your 1 mile isn't success. You know what I mean? Like, if we continue to just base and belittle ourselves and put ourselves below everybody else and just make ourselves feel like we're never doing enough, we're never going to do enough. We're never going to feel like we're doing enough, So I hope that we all kind of grasp that around ourselves, because I literally just now, though, right before I did this, I'm about to go with my mom to watch like a little movie. We're doing some cheese and wine, well, seltzer for me, because I'm a sober queen. And I've been sitting down all day, like literally for like 6 hours recently, just like writing things down and editing the way I like to do the podcast Instagram, which, by the way, help me out, guys. I am such a like perfectionist that if I get tired of the way that the podcast page looks, like, the actual grid of it, all the colors and things like that, I want to like change it all. So I've gone from like that kind of tan color with all those butterflies to then like a hot purple, then to a blue color, then to like a hot pink and purple color, and now I'm moving on to like a dark green. Like, I feel like I should just find one and then just continue doing that for like at least a month and then change it. But let me know what you guys like, because maybe you like when I like just mess around, and maybe you'd prefer if it wasn't all organized, because let me tell you, it's fucking more stressful. But anyway, so I was sitting there and I've been doing this for like hours. Like, literally, I don't even know how fast the day ends when I do that, because I get so into the zone that there's like no, like, I guess Ben did like make lunch for me and like asked me to sit outside with him. So I like scarfed down my lunch and then ran back to the computer. But even after all of that, like, now the sun's setting, I've been working for hours and I still feel like I didn't do anything. And I told myself, I'm like, I really feel like I did nothing today. And Ben was like, aha, there's that thing, right? Like, so for me, my baby step, it's like, I'm going to appreciate the effort that I put in today. What am I basing my success off of? It's that I showed up for the last episode. It's that I edited the last episode. It's that I'm here and I know what I want to say tonight. You know what I mean? It's not that I got 85 episodes done in one day. It's that I have put in the effort that you guys acknowledge and that you guys appreciate and that you guys love, right? So I am successful today. And then I even filmed this episode. So I'm trying to just, I guess, get that clear to you guys that I am in the same fucking boat that y'all are in. So we're all just having to grow and expand and evolve, but no success comes easy. If it was easy, everyone would fucking do it, but that's not the way the world works. And that's not how everything works. This week, I do want to, just because we're getting into like the steps and things that you can actually do to like kickstart that little journey of like truly bettering yourself. Because at the end of the day, no one can make you better your life. It has to be you. You're the only one that can choose to not even just change, but find better habits, right? Because we're not a product of our environment, we're a product of our habits. So if we're trying to do better, we have to kind of find and pinpoint those negative habits and try to fill them in, right? We talked about habit stacking and all of that stuff last episode. So hopefully you have your habit stackers, okay? Because sometimes, honestly, I will like kind of just like free write some of my like little stories and I'll put on iZombie in the background. And don't make fun of me for liking iZombie. iZombie I watched like so many years ago, and it is like a comfort show. Just like Santa Clarita Diet. Those are like, please watch that, by the way. I think they canceled it. So terrible. Just like when they canceled New Girl. They like finished the last season, but it was such bullshit. It was like 6 episodes and I was like, it didn't give the characters justice, damn it. They should have just like done a little bit better with that. But that's not what we're talking about. I don't even remember what we were talking about. So I'm going to look down at these notes that I don't have right here. It's a little quote, because you guys know I love quotes. It's a quote from Albert Einstein that said, "We cannot solve our problems at the same level in which we created them." Right? And like the last episode, we discussed foundation and the choice to do something and the choice to change and like, why are you changing, for who, for what? Now we do the how we're going to change and how we're going to make those steps. But, because I love the quotes, we love Mr. Einstein. Actually, I need to be careful with what I say because we have no idea who these people actually were. Like, a lot of them were like pretty fucking racist, I'm pretty sure. I'm not saying Albert Einstein, but who the fuck knows what went down in that time frame, that time period. But good, that's a good quote. We're gonna focus on the good quote for right now. But yeah, that's totally true. We cannot solve the problems that we have now, like right in front of us, in the same energy, in the same thinking as when we created them, you know? So you do have to shed that layer. And a lot of the times we always say we get in our own way and we make ourselves feel like we can't even do it. Like we start off thinking that we're going to fail. And who the fuck told you you're going to fail? You know, and we start off by just overwhelming ourselves, by just not showing ourselves any compassion or any empathy. And we start off literally placing ourselves below everything. Like, why don't we start off knowing that our past isn't terrible? You know, if we've all made mistakes, we've all fucked up, we've all said something bad or, you know, done something bad. We've all done that, you know? So the past is no mas, right? We carry some things and hopefully we can just learn from them. But other than that, we have to let them go. We have to shed those layers and we have to actually start fresh, right? So instead of just allowing yourself to think like, okay, well, I'm so heavy, I'm so stuck. You're not stuck, honey. You're the only one that's still holding on. You just have to let go. Let go of all those limitations that you're like setting on yourself, that you've allowed the world to set in. I wrote that in, oh, by the way, I think I said this last episode, but I do have a blog now, www.maliahope.love. So if you guys want to ever just like read any of the things that I write about, I love writing. It's actually like so much fun for me. And my grandpa's a writer, and it was so weird. The other day, I had this like revelation. We're gonna ignore that word. But my grandpa is an author. He writes criminal justice books. Dr. Frank Schmaliger, and he always, when I was growing up, he was like, "I'm editing. Like he's been editing ever. Like he's just always said that he's been editing when he's working. So for some reason, like the other day, I realized I was like, holy shit. All those textbooks, like literally hundreds and hundreds of textbooks, I'm like, he's not just editing them, he wrote them. So he's editing his own words. I don't know why, it was like, holy shit, like all those books on his wall, like he wrote those. And I'm like, that's like kind of why I feel like I like writing so much, and it kind of just really flows for me. So if you guys ever want to look at that, like go for it. One of the ones that I wrote was "Don't ever leave" or "Don't ever go." I really think that one's really special, and I just pray that anyone that needs it finds it, because I feel like it could really help a few people that just feel sad and don't find the worth in themselves. So if you want to share that with any of your friends or just like save it or screenshot it or something, I hope it just can help you or anyone that you know. But so now that we're talking about actually finding that change or the motivation to change, right? You know why you want to change, you know why you deserve it. And if you don't know and you skipped last week's challenge, that's fine. I love you so much. I'm going to just hype you up anyways. You deserve a good life. You deserve the best life fucking possible. And you are capable of doing that for yourself. You deserve peace. You deserve to be content. You deserve to feel beautiful. You deserve to feel handsome. You deserve to feel love. You deserve to feel appreciated. You deserve to appreciate yourself. You deserve to show yourself and give yourself the love that you give everybody else every single day. Your beautiful little heart rests on this soul. You deserve to forgive yourself. I think that's so important, because so many of you guys reached out when I was talking about me, like, and that whole, you know, me getting arrested and that whole little scandal that I had, and how embarrassed I was and like just down and ashamed, you know. You guys reached out to me and said like, hey, like I've gone through that too. Like I thought I was the only one. Like I've really been fucked up before and done things I didn't like. And we've all been there. And if you haven't, like, good for you. I'm not rolling my eyes or anything. Oh, just kidding. Good for you. But we all deserve to forgive ourselves. We all deserve, and I'm not trying to preach the Bible or anything, but like it does say in the Bible that Jesus is merciful and forgiving, you know, and even the Buddha talks about how you need to just be in the moment, be here now. And if you're being here in this moment, you can't be in the past whenever you made mistakes, or you can't be holding on to things. You have to let go and let love and let light and just be content in the moment. And you guys all deserve that. So if you think that for some reason, because I know that a lot of us can have like a low self-esteem and a low self-worth, we get that from past relationships, we get that from our relationships with friends, with families, we get that from not ever getting to know ourselves. And I think the whole point of this podcast is not only just to make you guys feel not alone, because I love you and I'm here for you and I send you hugs, but also to let you guys realize and understand and show you how to be there for yourself. You know, we look our entire lives for friends and loved ones, and we're always surrounding ourselves with people and going to parties or going to, you know, dinners, or we're social creatures, that's for sure. And that's not a bad thing. But when do we hang out with ourselves? Like in the morning, do you sit there and just like think to yourself like, okay, good morning, we're going to have a really good day. Like, I love you. We're capable today. Let's drink some water today. I noticed that I was feeling a little anxious this morning. So how about I just go outside and take some deep breaths? Like, how about I go on a walk? Like, how about I put my phone down? Like, how often are we actually checking in on ourselves the way we check in on other people? You know, like that's what the real root of this podcast is. It's getting to know yourself, because so many of us feel so alone all the time. The world can make you feel alone, especially social media, when you're constantly just seeing everyone having best friends. Like, you can feel so alone. And then you ask yourself, like, what am I doing? Like, why don't I have that many friends? Like, what is it about me that like I don't seem like cool? You know, I've never been like a really cool person. I feel like I'm a little nerdy and like a little like, I don't know, just a little different, I guess I would say. But that's not a bad thing, you know? And when you get to know yourself, you stop feeling so alone, because you're there. You're literally there for yourself. And I want you guys to all be there for yourselves. Like, even now in this moment, like, take another deep breath. And I'm not kidding, breathe. Like, literally take a deep breath right now. Like, feel yourself right there. You're in there. You're always there, you know? I read a book that said, always view like the little Buddha inside of you, like the little version of yourself, whether that's like you when you're like 40 years old and super content in life and super just collected as a person. Feel them sitting right there inside of your chest all the time. They will never leave you. And I don't know, I think there's something so comforting in that like, obviously for us anxious people, we feel this all the time, but if everything fell apart, if the world fell apart and you lost everything, you'd still be there, you know? So strengthen that bond and strengthen that relationship. And I think that when you do that, you find a lot of reasons to feel worthy. You know, I think it really, really helps center yourself and who you are as a person, you know, especially as a young woman, or a young king, but especially like being young and in this world, like you have to be strong. You have to stand up for yourself, and you have to know damn well that you can take what you need in life and you can grab what you want in life, because it's not going to be handed to you. It's not. You got to fight for that shit, and you deserve to fight for it. So that's my little like spiel. Let me just keep going to what we were actually getting towards. So yes, finding the habits that are bad, right? And kind of trying to find the good ones. Like, okay, if you drink water throughout the day, that's a good habit. But if you just constantly check your phone all day, that's probably a bad habit. Like, I know sometimes like I'll literally like just look at my phone and then I'll shut it because there's nothing on it, and then I'll open it again, like all within the same minute. Like, what? I think it was like on average we check our phones like 200 times a day or something like that. I actually kind of want to Google that. But like on average, it's like we check our phones 1 billion times a day. Okay, let's see. Hey Siri, how many times do people check their phone a day? Let's see. Oh, the average American checks their phone 96 times a day, or every 10 to 12 minutes. Though we actually touch our phones up to 2,617 times a day. Wow. That's a lot. I think that might be like average, including like 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds and things like that. I think the average like teenager checks their phone like a billion times a day. Like, unless that's just me. Anyways, so bad habits, like just constantly scrolling, especially because like most of the times you have that little voice inside your head that'll be like, hey, like we've been scrolling for an hour, like we should probably stop, like we need to get out of bed before we're like late to work or something. But then you keep scrolling, and then you get out of bed and you only have 5 minutes to get ready, and you're so anxious, you're like so stressed out, and then you're like cursing when you're in your car going into traffic. But that little voice was there to kind of tell you like, hey, like, and that, just picture that your little person down there that wants the best for you and loves you so freaking much and just wants you to be successful. Like, literally, it's just like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And you're kind of just like, not important. What you say doesn't matter. Those promises I make to you, not gonna keep them. You know what I mean? Like, why do we do that? Because I've thought about that so many times. Like, I have that little voice inside my head that's like, hey, like, you want to work out today. Like, why haven't you worked out? Like, you're wasting too much time. And then by the time like the sun goes down, you're not going to want to work out. And if I ignore it, I end up getting very like sad. Like, later that day, I'll be like, I wish I would have worked out today. Damn it. By the way, I'm going to give you guys a little workout routine. If it's not posted right here on the screen for the YouTube video watchers, it'll be on the podcast Instagram, but I did just like a little, I don't know if it's going to be a week or like 2 weeks. I might post like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and give you guys like a whole month of exercises. I have my own kind of routine, but I like to lift like heavy weights. By the way, I think I might be 160 pounds, which I'm like really proud of. Like, I'm actually really, really proud of that, because after coming out of modeling and like going through all that shit and like, just feeling so like, I don't know, too aware of my body, and the way that I'm changing and growing as a woman. Like, it could be so stressful, but I did want to like, I'm okay with like gaining weight. Gaining weight does not mean you're ugly, which so many people think nowadays. Like, be a little thick, honey. Like, it's not a saying. Like, someone's mom like a billion years ago told them that a man likes a little bone to grab, or wait, a little meat on there. Okay, well, bone or meat, whatever it is, be healthy, be happy, and feed your body and like love yourself. You deserve it. So I've gained weight, and I think a lot of it's like muscle mass because I've been working out like a lot. And I'm just like happy with that. I don't know. I was just like, damn, Miss Thickums, yay. But definitely like look into the good habits that you have and the bad habits, and try to like replace them. You want to walk more. You want to go to the gym, but you can watch TikToks at the same time. Go to the gym, watch TikToks, watch a movie, do your laundry, instead of snooze, like we talked about in the last episode, grab your water and drink some water. There's so many ways that you can do kind of multitask, I guess, do two things at once. Like when I write and I have eyes on me in the background, I feel so comfortable and so cozy. I'm not going to judge myself. That is what it is. And I am completely happy with that. So you should be too, but definitely like kind of just focusing on which bad habits we want to eliminate, so definitely check out that little workout thing that I have, because I think that's going to be like a really good thing to kind of get into your habit. I always say, love the little workout videos that you can find on YouTube, but I think that genuinely like moving your body is so important, because even you have yoga, and honestly, you can do yoga. It doesn't mean you have to go to the gym and like run 5 miles and get a 6-pack and all that. You just have to connect with your body. I like doing like fast walks and like go into jogs. I'm not a sprinter. I don't know why people love to sprint. They're like 10 minutes walk, 10 minutes sprint. No way. I'm not doing that at all. I'll break something. So I am I'm a firm believer in the speed walks, especially because if you like to listen to music, go outside for a walk, go for a walk. Even if you do some yoga and then do like a plank for like a few seconds, like that is all getting that heart rate up. It just in the long run, it makes you really healthy. It helps you sleep better. It helps you with stress and anxiety. You're calmer where it has a lot of benefits to your body and it makes you feel good about yourself. Like if you get up and do a 5-minute workout, like literally just like a couple squats and then maybe some abs, and then the next day go on like a 10-minute walk in the morning, and then the next day do 10-minute leg workout online, literally in the comfort of your own home, you are going to feel better. And when you start doing that, like the baby steps we always talk about, just because someone runs a marathon doesn't mean your mile isn't, or your even freaking 5-minute walk isn't success, right? We just have to get into those habits and build them. We're working on building like that platform. First step, finding the lens, figuring out what you want to do with what you want to do with like your habits, where you're trying to go, right? Not what you want to do with your life. I almost said that, but we don't have to figure that out yet. Don't worry. But first step, figuring out what you view success as, figuring out what you kind of want, what you view for yourself. And then now replacing bad habits, acknowledging them and realizing that you have the choice. Every day you have the choice. And it doesn't mean like I've been saying, it doesn't mean you have to figure it all out right now and change everything right now. You can't look for a temporary solution to just fix all your problems. It takes work, right? It's not the path with the least resistance. There's going to be little times where it gets a little hard, but in the long run, it's going to be better. Nothing good and beautiful and amazing and enjoyable is going to be found so easily. You're going to have to put that effort in and that work in. And I know another person, I don't know if it was Albert Einstein, but they say that you have to go a little bit outside of your comfort zone to grow. One example, I always like look up articles and stuff. One example was like to never order the same piece of food twice. And I do not stand by that. I will always order the same sushi roll at my sushi place. I've been doing it for the past like 4.5 years. And maybe that is something, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to change that, right? I think when you find something good, you keep getting it. Because if you don't get it, you could just get something that you don't like. Fine, I'll try something new next time. But I swear I'm going to come on here and be like, it was shit. I'm so upset that I didn't get the sushi roll that I liked. But they do talk about just like going outside your comfort zone. I watched this TikTok video of this girl in New York City who was like someone like random, someone like some bystander was like walked up and filmed her because she was lying in the middle of like the city, not the street, but like the sidewalk in literally New York City. There's so many people like walking like around her and whatever. And they were like, can I ask like what you're doing? Like what your purpose is to just be sitting here like right in the center of everything. And she's like, oh, like I learned in class that if you do something super weird in front of people, that it helps you not think so much about what people are thinking like in the day-to-day life. And I thought that was so cool. Wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. Not a shot that I would do that, but seriously, super cool for her. And I bet she's a really bold, cool ass person. So I think that's a little interesting to kind of note. Like, I know a lot of people are afraid to introduce themselves. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to, like, even if you see someone like really cool in a coffee shop and I don't know why that just made me want to read my Wattpads. I know I was thinking about that earlier today of like reading my Wattpad like fan fictions that I wrote when I was like 14 to you guys, but I think that might be just too scarring. But anyway, so I don't know where that came from, but when you see someone like really cool in a coffee shop, you like kind of want to like walk up and be like, hey, like you're super cool. Do you want to be friends? Oh, but we never do it. We'll never see them again. And we can't just like walk up, or say sometimes you want to like compliment someone and like you don't compliment them because like you get nervous about their reaction. Like I want to just get outside that comfort zone. I want to grow. I want to shed those layers. If I see someone that's beautiful, I'm going to be like, yo, you're beautiful. I think you look amazing. And if I see someone I want to be friends with, which is probably doubtful because I don't ever leave my house. But if you guys leave your house, introduce yourself. Just say hi. You know, what's the worst that can really happen? Be so proud of yourself and know that you're so awesome and so cool that anyone that doesn't want to be your friend is missing out. That's kind of how I think. Like, I'm a really cool person. Okay, I'm like really dope. I'm really cool. Also, another little bulletin point, not that I'm reading notes, is if you want to be better, you do have to do better. Plain and simple, honey. Plain and simple. And let's see. Oh, a little quote, because I love quotes, guys. By the way, another episode. Like, I know I've been like on a roll, so you guys are just expecting these episodes. You're just like, she's showing up. She's showing up. Not only am I showing up for y'all, I'm showing up for myself, okay? So you guys better show up for me and yourselves too. But I'm like so proud of myself. Like, what the heck? Like, I've never done this a day in my life, like ever. But another quote by Stephen King: amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and work. I loved that. Because that's true. Like, you can sit there and think that, oh, I'll do this when my outside, environment changes. And then you don't end up ever really getting where you want to be. You're like, okay, well, I'll just do it when this happens. I'll just do it. You're going to be waiting forever. I said back like a year ago when I started like at season 2 quotations, because I literally just did 3 episodes and ran away. But I was like, oh, like I'm going to be so focused on my YouTube and my podcast once I move out, right? So I moved out of my mom's house and I got that apartment for myself and didn't do anything for a year. Didn't do a damn thing. You know why? It was because I didn't have it in my head. I didn't make that decision in my head. I wasn't working on that foundation. Like, okay, it's one thing to say you're going to do something, but what are you actually doing? What are you actually working with? Like, what is below that, like, surface level? Like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Like, where is the deeper meaning? Like, what does it actually add to your life? What is your purpose for it? Like, everything is deeper than it looks, especially when it comes to self-love and bettering yourself and getting to know yourself. Nothing is just like, what is it? Like, seen by the naked eye. I need to stop doing all these, like, no, actually, I'm just going to keep doing them. And then Bruce Lee said, if you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you will never get it done. So get off your freaking cute asses and do some shit. 111, by the way. But get off your cute asses and do some shit, because you deserve to feel productive. Because nothing, honestly, I don't think anything feels better than feeling proud of yourself. Like, not even just because someone else says like good job, but like genuinely like doing something that you feel is good. Or like when you like, even I realized recently, because I was never one to really, and I hope this doesn't make me sound like a bad person, I was never one to really like get people gifts. Like, I didn't really like care too much. Like, like people didn't get me gifts. I'm not going to go all out. I'll like write you a card and get you like a $25 like gift card from Cheesecake Factory. But then last year, it was my mission. Like, I don't know why, but like Christmas time for my entire family, it was my mission to get every single person like a good gift. I remember like from my uncle, I got a picture of myself framed for his housewarming gift. And I think that was a great gift. You're welcome. I think I don't see anything wrong with that, honestly. And I think he still has it. If he doesn't, I'm going to ask him on Thanksgiving, and then it's going to probably stir up some tea for the, Thanksgiving dinner, because there can't not be tea, especially with the DeVitos, the Schmalligers, and the Keys, by the way, coming together this Thanksgiving. That is fucking crazy. Like, that's obviously the first time that that's happened. So that's going to be really interesting, but I'm really excited. And we're hosting it at my house, at our house this year. And this is the first time I've ever, hosted anything. So thank goodness Ben's already obviously been there, done that. And he knows how to make the turkey and the ham and whatever, but I'm going to be making like sweet potatoes, mac and cheese, green beans, truffles. We're going to get apple pies, things like that. But it's going to be crazy. That's not at all what I was talking about, though. I was talking about something families, something I know you guys probably know. And you're like, Malia, it was this. Don't know. But get off your cute asses and do some shit. Nothing in the world feels better than being productive and like feeling proud of yourself and like getting some shit done. And even if it's not like big shit, like get up in the mornings, wash your face, brush your teeth, take a shower, then do your bed. you know, change your outfit. Even if it's from PJs to PJs, PJs to sweatpants, sweatpants to workout clothes, you know, whatever it is, leggings and a big baggy shirt, change and do your hair, put it up in a ponytail or slick it back, you know what I mean? Wash it. The little things that you do will make a difference in how you feel, and like what you do in the morning also shapes your entire day. Like I know the other day when we were having Thanksgiving drama, even before Thanksgiving, like I was really stressed out, and like I was calling my mom bright and early, like my eyes cracked open, and me and my mom were calling back and forth, kind of like a little bit arguing, but not like big arguing, just like, you're annoying me. And I remember Ben came in, he's like, hey, can we just sit down for a second? He's like, I don't want you to start your day off like this with all this like negative like energy or like this stress, because it was gonna affect my entire day. And I felt like I was already like feeling kind of bad, and I was like, you know what, I do not want to jog at all, because I've been on my period. And I'm like, I don't want to jog at fucking all. But I was like, you know what? It would be good for me to go outside and just like kind of jog a little bit. I ended up walking most of it, but it was nice to get outside and like listen to some music and like center myself, instead of like kind of like allow myself to like get into a funk that I probably couldn't, you know, get out of for the rest of the day, because I'm a sensitive person. And I think that was just a good start. So I really hope you guys can think this week about, you know, what you really want to do in the habits. And the challenge this week is kind of all of that combined. When you see the workout schedule, I really, really, really challenge you to do that, you know, just like 5 days, easy start. It's not at all going to the gym and lifting a whole bunch of weights. It's easy things that you can do for yourself. And obviously it's for free, because I love you guys. I think one day I will totally make like an entire guide, but for now, maybe like that'll be for like an actual gym if you get a gym membership. But for now, it's just going to be this light little weekly workout that's going to make you feel so much better. And I think I'm going to just like put in the description all of the little workouts that I've been doing, and we could do them together. I'm not going to lie, I skipped today, but I'm still going to be proud of my achievements, because I did it for like 5 days in a row, and I'm starting to see some changes on my little stomach, on my little tummy. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Please stay with me. Stay here. Definitely go check out the blog and follow the podcast Instagram at probably late to something. And journal's coming soon. Obviously, Kindle's coming soon. I hope that my samples will be here, because I feel like I've been talking about it for like over a month. I hope my samples will be here for the shirts and leggings and dresses, so I can go ahead and order bulk. If they're good, fingers crossed for me. But I love you, beautiful babies, so much. Thank you guys for being here with me. You make everything so much fucking better. You have no idea. I love you. Love yourself too. Mwah. Episode 13 too, babies. I'm proud of myself. I breezed through it because I wasn't like stressing myself out by like trying to be perfect and whatever, and I'm not worried about the lighting anymore, because I'm just like, this is what it is, honeys. So yeah, that was really, really fun. I'm happy. I feel like I could have maybe done it a little lower so that you guys can see the tatas, but you know, you gotta pay for that. Just kidding. Love you guys. Mwah.